Hi my friends, take my namaskar. I'm your host Srisubroto, a scholar, a lover of Indian spirituality and culture. You know that this is the time of Azadi ki Amrit Mahotsav, a period of Azadi, celebrating 75 years completion of Indian independence and 76 independence anniversary. It's a lovely time, fantastic time to enjoy and to feel freedom. This time I came with a different type of a video, different type of discussion regarding freedom. It may not have any connection with politics. After all, a country is a matter of feeling more than politics, geography and history. And therefore I have a desire to talk in regard to freedom in different aspects of Indian life. And the topic is our country, Bharat, our country, our concern. Bharat, Hamara Desh, Hamara Soch. We will try to discuss those issues where we need freedom, those issues of life where we need freedom. We need freedom from mental slavery and linguistic slavery. May I ask you one question? Can you see India, say 10,000 years old ancient civilization, ranging from Indus Valley civilization to Aryans and Dravidians, including the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, or the three Pitaka of Buddhism, Agam of Jainism, or Guru Granth Sahib of Sikhism, in the word India? Can India reflect all these things? India is a foreign word of say 275 years of its history, 200 years of slavery and 75 years completion of Indian independence. Can this word reflect a rich and ancient culture like Bharat? And that's the reason why I personally want, and I think you people want too, that the name Bharat, is more appropriate for this country than India. I know there is a reference in the Constitution of India as an article, under Article 1 of 1, that India, that is Bharat. But India cannot reflect what Bharat means. So we want a freedom from the slavery of a foreign word. Now it's up to you, up to the administration, how they deal with the situation. And we want freedom from linguistic slavery as well. For the last 75 years or more, you are using English language. We are still slave of a language, of a particular language in different aspects of life. And the problem is that we try to translate our culture, our spirituality in English language. We want to see Bharat through a foreign word, India. And the problem is that while translating, we miss the very core, the essence of India. Let me give you an example. Normally people of India translated the word prema in a simple word called love. But you cannot touch the beauty, the divineness of the word, the holisticness of this word prema, by means of just love. Akata kahani prem ki, as Kabir has said. Akata kahani prem ki, kuch kaha na jaye. This is about prema. And you just translated in the word love. You missed the heart of it. Similarly, you translated the word leela in a word play. But you missed the beauty of the word leela, the depth of it. You translated the subject darshan in the word philosophy, utterly wrong. Philosophy is the love of knowledge. Darshan means something to see divinity, or to see the truth, come face to face before the truth. That is Indian darshan. But we translated it and we're reading it for decades with the word philosophy, utterly wrong. So, we did enough of this. And remember, the limitation of language limits your culture, limits your spirituality, limits your depth. And that happens about India, Bharat or Bharat Barsh, that we are so proud of. We lost it because of this foreign language, because we try to translate everything by means of a foreign language. I'm not against any language. I'm not against English. Otherwise, I'm not going to do this video in English. This is the fact. This is the truth. So we want freedom from mental slavery, from linguistic slavery. The second point is a very important point. We want freedom from a distorted history. This is a very, very important issue. Because the history that we are seeing sometimes goes utterly wrong. For example, let me say this India, this Bharat, received her freedom because of the non-violence of Mahatma Gandhi. I disagree. I know that Britishers left this country because of a possible upheaval in the military, and it was started, and it came influenced by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Non-violence is an important factor. It awakened Indians, majority Indians. It's true. It has done a remarkable work in Indian independence. But to say that India received her freedom only because of non-violence is utterly wrong. And at the same time, limiting, dishonoring the contributions of others, the contributions of thousands of people, the contributions of those revolutionaries who left everything, gave their life for Indian independence. We need a right history, impartial history. And it's a fact that whoever sits in the throne, in the power, writes history in his or her own way. And that's why sometimes it has been distorted, suppressed, twisted, freezed, and focused only those elements which are come close to the power, to the people who are on the throne. This is a fact of life. This happens. This is the time we should write a right history, a true history. The third freedom that we want is misutilization of the Constitution of India. Misutilization of the articles and values and ideals of Indian Constitution. It has been seen that this Constitution, which is a very big one, has a democratic nature, a democratic values and ideals, are misutilized by some for their own limited benefit. They use shields of certain words again and again for their own interest. For example, the word secularism. The country, it was a redundant word. When the constitution itself is secular, why use an extra word for the whole matter? But it is already secular. And at the same time, the problem is that this word, secular, human rights, democracy, were used as shields by many who have their limited interest, self-interest to serve. So we need to be very careful. We need a freedom from this continuous tendency of misutilization of Indian constitution. And now, we want freedom from fear. Don't you feel that there is some kind of fear everywhere nowadays? Don't you feel so? Don't you feel that there is a fear of attack, sudden attack, fear of trolling, fear of constant rebuke, fear of isolating, and so on? There are so many kinds of fear, and it has been increasing nowadays. Why? We need to stop it. A people of a democratic country cannot live in fear. Why should one be fear in using democratic rights? You were in a debate, you expressed something democratically, and then on you are being challenged, then you are being rebuked, you are being attacked, you are living in a fearful situation, your life become hell. Why so? Why this country is experiencing this thing? My God, we don't like to live in fear, in a fearful situation. We don't want to create our country a land of fear. After all, we are all human beings and ordinary human beings. We cannot live in this fearful, this atrocious, this unfortunate weather. And there is another thing. We want freedom from anti-national thoughts, theories, faiths, which are constantly trying to disrupt, disintegrate this country internally and internationally. We want freedom from these things. We may not be free from the external, in the external field, in the international level, but we at least can be free internally. Unfortunately, we see a situation, a planned way of increasing population of a country, leading to poverty, and then to illiteracy, and then to radicalization and indoctrination, leading to demographic change, and finally political change of a certain place. In a very planned way, certain people are doing it. I am not for generalization. I know, and for myself, I think generalization of everything is a crime. I want to target a few people, a few corners, a few pockets who are always trying to disrupt the beauty, the sincerity, the honestness, the loveliness of this country. And they work in a constantly different manner than the values and ideals that we adhere to. If these people get the chance of power, they will destroy everything democratic. They will destroy all secularism. They will bring hell on earth. We know it very well. So these people, these pockets of people, these theories who wants to disintegrate, separate our country, making into different states should be checked, should be controlled. We want freedom from weakness. The majority of Indians, the majority of Bharatiya, are so related with Bhakti Marga, are so, marched into Bhakti Marga, that they lost the Shakti Marga. I'm telling it from my heart. They say they always related themselves with Sri Krishna and his Bashari and Radhika and Rash Leela. But nobody is concerned about Sri Krishna's play in the Kurukshetra Yuddha, Kurukshetra war, with Sudarshan Chakra. Sri Krishna has different forms, different phases in his life. If we stick to the Prema Leela, Rash Leela of Sri Krishna, we will lose. Is the great call. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati Bharata abhutyanam adharmasya tadatmanang siyamyam. The point is, we are concerned with one phase of Sri Krishna. We are not seeing this great avatar or this great Lord Sri Krishna in his fullest form. Holistically. We are seeing only the Rash Leela. We are not seeing his Shakti Leela, his play, his work, his teachings in the Kurukshetra Yuddha, in the Kurukshetra war. This is our tragedy. So we need freedom from weakness. We need to be strong. A life depends on harmony. You cannot be all the time behind Satya. You need also Rajas and Tamas in your life. A harmony is very important. If you miss it, you miss life. So Sri Krishna should be read wholly, not fragmentarily. This is very important. He should be read, understood. So freedom from weakness for the majority is very, very important. And Indian identity should be re-established. We have already an identity, we know that, but it is confused. There are forces who want this identity of India, identity of Bharata, a culture of 10,000 years or so, should be obliterated, should be diffused. We're not going to do that. This identity of India should be re-established, retold in the history, globally. What is this identity? Sanatana Dharma is that identity. And what is the Sanatana Dharma? Religion of eternal laws of nature. It is a religion of eternal laws of nature. There may be superstitious beliefs and walks, but that doesn't mean that they're free to do whatever they like according to their mentality. But the fact is, Sanatana Dharma means a love of nature, an appreciation of nature, an appreciation of eternal values in the nature. And so, a Sanatani never hate anybody. Think of a belief system, a faith system, who says non-believers should be killed. This is most unfortunate. How can you kill a non-believer? And only Sanatani has the answer. That you are free to worship anything, whatever you like, according to their mental level. This is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Sanatana Dharma means Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Sanatana means Ekam Sat, truth is one. Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Sanatana Dharma means prema, karuna, maitri. And in this kind of dharma, there is no discrimination. The created discrimination cannot reflect Sanatani views. It is the social setting according to the mental level, I say to you again. So even Sanatana identity of India, the Sanatana identity of Bharat, needs to be kept, should not be confused. Sanatana Dharma also means pluralism. India is beautiful because of its pluralistic culture. You can take any path whatsoever, but you need to be Sanatani, in the sense that you should respect the Sanatani culture, the Sanatani Sanskriti of India, which I already told you, which means that you should have maitri to all. You should have the attitude to say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam or Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. This holistic, this unity in diversity, this everything comes to an interdependence. You must have faith on that. If you try to create disturbance into this character of India, you are in a way disturbing India. You are in a way becoming an enemy of India. You are in a way going against the culture, the spirituality for which India stands for which Bharat stands for. You are against Bharat, the Sanskriti of Bharat, the culture of Bharat. My friends, there is no hate what I said. There is the reality what I said. It doesn't matter, the people of India, majority of the people of India could understand everything of the Sanatani values. It requires learning, it requires wisdom, it requires knowledge, it requires information, it requires a knowledge of the history and culture. But the fact is that you cannot disturb this character of India. And this character also keeps fantastically well this pluralism. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, or all paths are leading to the one, or all paths or ways of belief system should be respected. They come in the Sanatani culture. Sometimes there is a tendency to misunderstand the Sanatani culture. But the point is, the powerful, the people who are in power should take the challenge of bringing pluralism, and this character of India should come in balance. There is no contradiction between pluralism and Indian character. There is no contradiction between pluralism, Bahutibad, and Bharatiya Sanskriti. But if you disturb pluralism and started hegemonism and started propagating that this is fine, this is greater, this is most beautiful, this should be accepted by all, you will finally disturb the character of India. And finally, you are going to disturb the political character as well. And maybe geographical character too. I mean, this is a very, very challenging part of Indian existence. Pluralism, balancing with Indian character. And at the same time, there is a warning also that if anybody, any faith wants to disturb this pluralism, there is a potentiality or there is a tendency to disturb. That should be checked, controlled by any way. Because you cannot disturb pluralism. on which this whole country, this beautiful garden of India, this beautiful garden of Bharat stands for. That's why I said it's a challenging situation to keep balance all the time with pluralism and Indian character. Pluralism, Bahutavad, with the culture of Bharat. The character of Bharat is Sanatani. We born Sanatani, live Sanatani, and dies as Sanatani. And not only me, accept it or not, everyone throughout the world born as Sanatani, following nature's rule. Live as Sanatani and die as a Sanatani, following nature's rule. Eternal laws of nature. So there is no separation between this people and that people. And at the same time, there is no separation too between this man and that creature. All are respected. All are taken care of. All are loved, cared. That's Sanatani. And we should be very much careful. And as I said, we need freedom from any confusion created or intentionally creating to disturb the Sanatani character of India. Bharat, our country, and these are our concerns. I'll have to quote a few lines from Manoj Muntasir. तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा, गुल बनके मैं खिल जावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू. I would immerse in your soil, I would reborn as a flower. It's the only desire of my heart. It is nice, it is a matter of pride, to born as an Indian, to live as an Indian, and die as an Indian. To born as a Bharatiya, to live as a Bharatiya, and to die as a Bharatiya. Thank you very much. Bande Mataram.